Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, indeed, it is an absolutely beautiful Friday morning. The sun's starting to come up, and we've got Tanner Lee joining us for the First Federal program. Good morning.
Morning, Paul. It is a beautiful morning. A little brisk out there, but...
Yeah, well, you know, it's still warmer now than it's going to be tomorrow for
right.
us, so...
we've got pretty lucky with the warm temperatures here the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
This week, I mean, not very often in October do you see a 3-day consecutive in the 80s stretch, but...
Yeah, I was all excited about, you know, flannel and hoodie season, and then they say, oh, here's 86 degrees, and I went, oh, no.
Well, I think you're going to get your wish this weekend, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll be seen in a hoodie all weekend long.
So we're going from 80s to, 60s today and 50s the rest of the weekend, so...
Yeah. Almost a 30-degree temperature shift in 48 hours.
Welcome to the Midwest, welcome to Indiana.
Yeah.
So, yesterday, a lot of rain yesterday.
Yes.
Gloomy days. But we did need it. We did need it. So, but no, I like this time of year. Fall's my favorite season. We're officially in fall now, a couple weeks now. And you know, like I said, hoodie season, jeans, soup season. I'm a big soup guy. You a soup guy?
I am, and I'm like you. It's got to be cold out. You know, I can't.
Oh, I can eat it all year. I can eat it all year.
Oh, see, I can't do that. I can't. 86? Nope, I'm not having soup that day.
Oh, I'll eat chili when it's 90 some out in summer, and people make fun of me. But
I have done that before, but it's normally like soup in the summer normally means that at least 2 people in the house are sick, so we're trying to keep it kind of healthy.
Sure. What's your go-to soup if you had to choose?
Oh man, chicken and dumplings.
That's a good one.
Or chili.
Yep, those are good ones. You know, they can be made in different ways, and I like those also. Like, and you see, here's when you really dive deep into it. What's a soup? What's a stew? Because I like gumbo, I like jambalaya, but some people don't really. I mean, those are more probably meals than they are soup. But chicken tortilla soup, I like all sorts. So yeah. Well, I got some trivia with me this morning, Paul.
All right.
We were talking about fall and the fall classic when it comes to baseball, the World Series. Playoffs are underway now.
Yeah.
And so my trivia question for you today is: how many MLB teams have never made the World Series? And I'll give you 4 choices.
Okay.
Is it 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams, or 4 teams?
All right.
And I'll let you have all program to think about it.
Yeah, well, I can tell you the team that has probably the most chokes in Game 7. Oh.
I wasn't going to mention that, so you mentioned it yourself.
I figured you said World Series, and that's right where my brain went.
I'm sorry. It's still a sore subject, isn't it?
Yes. Every time.
For those out there that might not know, Paul is a Cleveland Guardians fan. So.
Yeah.
I guess I could just say Cleveland, and that would speak for itself, right?
I don't follow their basketball team, but yeah.
Well, they've had good stretch with LeBron, second round there, so.
Yeah.
Well, we got some sports to go over this morning. A lot of sports are wrapping up around the area. It's that time of year. Once again, congratulations to Olivia Bailey and Ava Thomas for their performances in the state finals of golf last week. So congratulations to those ladies. It's going to be fun to see what they can do next year and going forward.
Yeah.
Volleyball, I know had senior night last night. Tennis, I believe, is done. Cross country, postseason will be coming up. Football, we're getting there. We've got 2 more regular season games tonight, next week, and then the postseason is here, which you were telling me there's a sectional draw.
Yeah, the sectional draw takes place Sunday at 6 p.m., and we'll carry it right here on WROI.
Perfect. So shortly after the Colts game.
Yeah. Colts game will end. They'll go to the 5th quarter, or whatever they call it, their little post show, and then at 6 o'clock it'll switch over to the sectional draw.
So what you're telling me is tune in for the pregame of the Colts and just let the radio run?
Yeah, I mean,
majority of the day.
You got a good 9 hours of solid sports and football right there.
And I know I'll get back to high school sports here in a bit, but you were saying solid 9 hours of sports and football. I saw on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, the other night that I think starting, it was Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, there's 50 straight days of either college football or NFL going forward.
Wow.
So I'm going to start seeing games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. College will do that once in a while. Smaller colleges. So,
Yeah.
it's a lot of football coming up.
It is.
So if you're a football fan, football's going to be on your TV for a good majority of the next couple months. So, back to local sports. Rochester travels to Southwood tonight.
Yeah.
Rochester's 5-2, Southwood's 4-3. A nice TRC matchup. Rochester's last road trip of the regular season. So they'll travel over to Wabash County to take on the Knights. Pre-game 6:30ish.
Yep.
6:30ish.
Got you trained now.
Tippecanoe takes a little while. Tippecanoe Valley continues their great season. They're up to number 5 in the polls. They're 7-0. They had a huge win over number 2 ranked at the time, West Lafayette, on the road last weekend.
Yeah.
They travel to John Glenn tomorrow. That game is the rare Saturday
Yeah.
high school game, not a Friday game. Culver hosts Pioneer tonight. Culver's looking for their first win of the season, so good luck to the Cavaliers. And the Cats and Comets travel over to Winnemac to take on the Warriors. Winnemac's on a 2-game win streak there. So good luck to everybody participating tonight, and hopefully you can go out and enjoy some Friday Night Live action.
Yes.
College football, only 2 of the bigger programs in the state in action this week. And Indiana has a bye, which they might need it after the showing at Maryland. They need to regroup a little bit, get some guys healthy.
Yep.
Purdue's on the road tomorrow at Iowa. Purdue's 2-3, got a much needed win for themselves over Illinois last week. Iowa's 4-1. Iowa's a 2.5-point favorite in this game. A lot of people are probably like, why is Iowa only 2.5-point favorite? Well, their starting quarterback is out for the year. He got injured last week against Michigan State, so their backup, who doesn't have a lot of experience, is coming in, which sometimes that could give the other team problems.
Yeah.
You don't have a ton of film on them. That game is at 3:30 tomorrow on Peacock.
All right.
So, Boilermaker fans, if you don't have Peacock, I suggest at least doing the free trial. But you might as well pay, I think it's $5.99 a month, the low tier, because not only was Purdue on Peacock last week, they're on this week against Iowa, they're on next week at home against Ohio State. And then the basketball TV schedules came out this week. They have 6 games in basketball season on Peacock, including one of the 2 matches between Purdue and Indiana is on Peacock this year. So both Purdue and IU fans probably should go ahead and just get that so you don't miss that game come January. Smart on Peacock's part, getting some big games to drive their subscriptions up. But I understand from the consumer, it's another streaming service I have to pay for. But look at Thursday Night Football, which we'll talk about here in a bit with the Bears. That's on Amazon Prime every week. Sports are starting to go in that streaming direction a little bit, so I think it's a trend we're going to continue seeing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Notre Dame squeaked one out last week against Duke.
Yeah.
Quite the comeback at the end there for the Irish. They're at Louisville tomorrow, who is 5-0. Both teams ranked. Irish 5-1, Louisville 5-0. Notre Dame's a 6.5-point favorite. That game's at 7:30 on ABC. So it'll be interesting to see if Purdue's former coach Jeff Brom can lead his Cardinals to victory against Notre Dame. And Louisville's quarterback Jack Plummer, this is his 3rd attempt at beating Notre Dame at his 3rd school.
Wow.
He played against them once at Purdue. He transferred to California last year. They played Notre Dame. He lost. Now this year he transferred to Louisville. He gets another crack at them. So we'll see how that goes. We was just talking about Thursday Night Football. The Bears got their first win of the season last night, beating the Commanders on the road by a score of 40-20. So the Bears put up some points. Justin Fields had a good game. DJ Moore's wide receiver had a really good game, over 200 yards. Got a little hairy there for the Bears in the 4th at one point. That game was 27-3 at half. Commanders fought back, had the ball only down 10 in the 4th quarter with about 9 minutes to go, and Bear fans, social media were going, here we go again, because last week they choked a big lead away against my Denver Broncos. Thank you, Bears. So we're not going 0-17 this year, but either of the Bears getting the win call. So good win from them. We'll see if they can build on it next week. Then the Colts host division rival the Tennessee Titans. Both teams 2-2. Colts are 2.5-point favorites. That game's at 1 o'clock on CBS on Sunday. But like we mentioned earlier, it's also right here on WROI.
Yep, pregame coverage will start at noon.
And the MLB playoffs are underway. We have the Orioles still in it. Orioles, Rangers, Twins, Astros on the AL, and then the NL you got the Phillies, the Braves, Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks.
All right.
So those are your 8 final teams, and we'll report back next week with how those series are going.
You know, I knew Cleveland wasn't going to make it at the beginning of the year. I always know that. But I'm just glad New York's not in it.
Oh, they were all I am surprised the Yankees are bringing their manager Aaron Boone back. I really thought they didn't make the playoffs, or even made the playoffs and got exit early. I thought he might be fired, but they're bringing him back, and then that's the reason why they're not doing good, Paul. They need to strip it down and start over, but they're too stubborn. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what Cleveland's doing. So
Yeah.
We'll see next year how they do.
Always next year, right? Now we're sounding like Cub fans.
Wow.
Well, I got some tidbits for you
Alright.
this morning. A couple of them are sports related, the first few. On this date, 1882, the first game ever played of a World Series happened. The Cincinnati Red Stockings beat the Chicago White Stockings 4-0.
Okay.
They're now known as Cincinnati Reds and Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
Cut the Stockings off. On this day, 1945, we were just speaking of the Cubs. There was a tavern owner tried to buy a ticket and bring his billy goat into Game 4 of the World Series. He was escorted out of the stadium, and he put a curse on the Cubs on that day, which is Cub lore from that day through until 2016. 16. They hadn't made a World Series, so the curse of the billy goat amongst a lot of people was real. But
Yeah, well, you know, we're not going to talk.
I'm just a bear bad news for you this morning.
Yeah.
On this day, 1993, Michael Jordan. You probably heard of him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good. He makes good shoes, I hear.
Yeah. He makes a lot of money doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
He retired for the first time of eventual 3 times. After 9 seasons and 3 championships, he would then return on March 18th, 1995, where he would win 3 more titles with the Bulls. He would then retire one more time in 98, I believe, in 98 or 99, I think it was 98. Then he'd come back as a owner/player for the Washington Wizards for 2 years, which he didn't even make the playoffs.
No.
But he was still very good for his age, even when he came back then.
Yeah.
On this day, 2001, the UK show Pop Idol debuted, and everybody's probably like, why is that now? Why is that a big deal? Well, it started the phenomenon of what we know now as American Idol, even America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell was one of the hosts on this show and judges, so now it's a world phenomenon.
Yeah, I think every country, at least the big countries have their own idols.
Right. Or some talent show or something.
Yeah.
And on this day in 2010, Instagram launched.
Oh, okay.
I remember getting Instagram in 2012. So
Yeah.
I must have waited a little bit.
I think I was even later than that.
Yeah. Now it's owned by Meta, which is
Yeah.
the company that runs Facebook. So
I've gotten really bad at social media here lately. I'm barely on anything.
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
It's good for yourself at least once in a while. So there's so many out there.
Yeah.
Well, I got some days today. Today's National Transfer Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day.
Okay.
Look for a post on First Federal Savings Bank about that today on our social media pages, because we have Zelle. So
Yeah.
it's an easy way to transfer money from person to person. So
Yes, it is.
hey,
Used it quite a few times myself.
yeah. So
Gotta pay a guy who keeps buying things.
here you got to pay your daughter today, Paul.
I do. I'll give him a couple bucks.
There you go.
One will give it back to me and tell me she doesn't want it. So.
Oh, that's nice of her.
Yeah.
See if that happens more and more as she gets older.
Yeah.
Today is also National Mad Hatter Day.
Yes.
It is National Physician Assistance Day. World Smile Day. That's always a good reminder for everybody to smile.
Oh yeah.
National Noodle Day.
Mm.
Which favorite type of noodle? Just
Homemade, honestly.
homemade.
Yeah.
It matters what I'm eating, but like if it's spaghetti, I prefer like angel hair.
Okay.
So the angel hair noodles.
Yeah.
But
As long as it doesn't stick together, angel hair has a good habit of doing that.
yeah, it does. Yeah, they clump together pretty good. But I like most noodles out there. It's also National Badger Day.
Mm-hmm.
Inbox Zero Day. That never happens.
No. I clear it off and then put my phone down, have no emails, and about 10 seconds later, ding!
I had a chuckle with myself. It's probably about a month ago now. I'm really bad with my Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of just spam emails and stuff. I got a notification from Gmail that my inbox was over 50% full. I'm like, wow, I probably should get in there and clear some of that out one of these days.
Especially coming from Gmail,
I
because
know,
they allow a lot
I
of
know,
storage in
I know.
there.
So, I used to be pretty good at getting in there once in a while and clearing things out, but it's been a long time.
Last time I did that, that started the trend of at least once a day just going through and looking
Clear.
at all my emails and just deleting them if I have no
I should
interest
probably
in them.
do that. And it's kids' music day.
That's an important
So,
one.
yeah. Well, speaking of music, we've got an upcoming local event going on tomorrow at the Times Theater. They're having an 80s band come in, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, we talked to James Artist and Brian Freshour earlier this week about that. Looks like it's going to be about a 3-hour show. With
Yeah,
an intermission
doors open at
between.
6:45, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm told they wouldn't give me too much, but starting with the video, each set is going to start with a video package that they put together, and they encourage everybody to come wearing your best 80s dress.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of good photos on social
Yeah.
media of people dressed up in their 80s attire.
Me too.
So, I was glad when I got on there that I read everything, because at first glance when I saw Revenge of the Nerds, I thought they were talking about the movie.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, good movie, funny movie if you haven't seen it, but so that's an interesting pick for the Times. And then I read it, like, oh, that is the band.
Yes.
So very cool. That's what's great about the Times Theater. It's not just movie theater. It shows movies
Yep.
more frequently than other things, but live performances too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So if you don't have plans tomorrow night, get to the Times and dress in your 80s attire and
Yeah.
have a good time.
And I do know they also said that they try to do music that a lot of other cover bands don't.
Oh, that's nice.
You'll get some stuff that maybe you don't normally hear.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Money news: the Dow Jones closed yesterday down a little bit, just a little over 9 points. So closed at 33,119.57. So we'll watch today. It's always a roller coaster ride, or not always, I should say, but lately it's been a roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Mr. Dick Belcher used to say, we'll see, it's either go up or going to go down. So
Yep. We like it when it goes up.
yeah,
but
we do.
We all know that it has to go down to continue to be.
Unfortunately,
able
you
to
and
go
I
up.
have no control in
No.
what it does.
No.
But First Federal Savings Bank today, we'd love to see you come in and do some banking with us. We're open from 8:30 till 5 today, and tomorrow from 8:30 till noon. You can always bank with us online too. If you can't get into one of our branches with our free mobile app, no matter if you have Android or iPhone, go to your App Store or Google Play Store, type in First Federal Savings Bank or FFSB Rochester, First Federal Rochester. There's many different ways you can type in to make it come up, but look for the white star with the green background, and you are halfway there. And then once
Yeah.
you get that going, you can send person-to-person payments through Zelle, deposit checks, check your balances, set card limits, many things with your card control. You lose your debit card, you can turn it off. If you happen to find it, maybe it's stuck in the under a couch cushion or something later, and you find, oh, okay, I can turn it back on. So
Yep.
you can do a lot of different things with our app. It's very of course, mobile. very, very handy, very user-friendly in my opinion.
Very convenient.
We got some purchase specials going on right now.
Yeah.
You can talk with any of our experienced loan originators. That'd be around this area in Rochester, Wintermack. That'd be Stacey Wilson, Ben Dalton. But for more details on these, we got a construction perm special going on if you're looking to build a home, and if you're looking just to buy a home, we got a couple different we call them fall purchase specials that are good from now through the end of the month, through October 31st through Halloween.
Okay.
So just contact them; they'll give you some more details, or you can also find more details online on any of our social media pages, which is Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram. Our handles on there are at FF Banking. We're also on LinkedIn and YouTube, so you can find information on our purchase special on any of those. So follow us if you haven't already. Of course, we still offer Simply Free Checking and Simply Free checking for businesses as well. Right now, when you open up an account, you get a free gift, and it is a cereal dispenser. which I meant to bring one in, Paul.
Yeah, you kind of ran
Had
into some
technical difficulty with my script this morning. That's why I got old school paper and pen this morning.
Yeah,
But,
it's been a while since we did that.
yeah, yes, it has. Take technology for granted sometimes. But yeah, cereal dispenser, but it doesn't, I mean, if you're not a big cereal fan, well, first off, if you're a big cereal fan, it's a perfect gift for you or the cereal lover in your family or if you have a friend. But if not, you can also put dog food in it. You can put a lot of different other things. It doesn't have to be just for cereal.
Right.
And Paul, I know you already have an account with us, and so you're thinking, I don't want to open up another account to get a cereal dispenser. Well, I got good news for you. You can refer a friend.
Yeah.
So
just tell them Paul Zartman sent you.
tell them Paul Zartman sent you, or you can even refer a friend online. You don't have to come into any of our branches to refer a friend. But how that works is once your friend comes in to open an account, they will get a free gift for opening an account, and you will too for referring them. So different ways you can get one of these if you want. And of course, we offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lenny Breeden for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And if you think about retiring, want to check on your 401k, get a 401k started, IRA, those types of things, contact Mark Blueball and Brian Bell in the Financial Services Department. They can help you out as well. We are the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Ours must be underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us
That
legal.
makes us legal, and everybody's like, you went this whole time, you haven't introduced your guest, you're dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Well, my guest this morning is right here on the other mic.
Yeah.
It's WROI's own Paul Zartman.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining me this morning, Paul.
Hey, I told you.
You join me
anytime.
every week.
Yeah,
but
I'm always here, so anytime you need anything, I'm here to help.
thank you for stepping into the guest role this morning, I
No
should
problem.
say. But so our listeners are familiar with your voice and familiar with what you do here at the radio station, but why don't you tell everybody out there listening in on watching live on Facebook a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from? Rochester?
Well, I was born in Huntington.
Okay.
Then moved to Fort Wayne, back to Huntington, then to North Manchester, and finally into Rochester, well, just north of Talma.
Okay.
In 02, I think. I might ask him back there, but he doesn't remember either. So, and then I moved back to Manchester for a little bit, and then just decided in 2010 Rochester's the place to be.
Let's be Tippecanoe Valley graduate. I
Yeah,
understand.
class of 06.
Okay.
I keep looking at how close we are to the 20-year
Yeah,
reunion, and I
coming up.
can't believe it.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Is that what it is?
That's what they say. That's what they say. But when did you start here at the radio station?
It's funny. I was looking this up not too long ago because it came up on my memories on Facebook.
That is one nice feature of Facebook. I like
Yes.
memories.
Started part-time in 2013.
2013, decade now.
Yeah, I was running the board for girls' basketball games on Saturday nights. And then in 2017 came on full-time. And then even more full-time once Scott bought in 2019.
2019. And how did your role change in 2019, or did it at all when ownership?
It did. I was just kind of, the afternoon host, helping out a little bit here and there. And then once Scott bought, I kind of took over all the roles Tom had, apart from the ownership role, taking care of our traffic logs so that you get to hear the commercials on the air. Making sure music's good, billing is the big one for me, and just kind of the day-to-day operations, make sure we're on the air and what can be done if we go off.
You're kind of the straw that stirs the drink on here.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I like that analogy.
Speaking with Paul Zartman this morning, WROI's own Paul Zartman, I should say. You wanted to get into radio growing up, didn't you?
I did. I remember as a kid, and this is probably predating you even, so listening to the radio and hitting record on my cassettes.
I remember cassettes.
Barely.
But not, a little bit.
They were pretty much gone.
It's pretty much CDs for the most part. Which a lot of people probably have their CDs.
No, those are still popular enough. And then even when I bought a cassette or something, you always got that couple seconds in between each song. So I pretend that I was talking between each song. And it was always a passion. I always wanted to do it. That and electronics, my two big passions. And when I got the opportunity, I just had to grab it.
Sure. What's your favorite part of your job?
This has changed over the years. It's funny, we're both wrestling fans, and we're both Cody Rhodes fans, more specifically. In his latest documentary, he talked about he used to just want to wrestle, and then something evolved where he just enjoyed doing the business side of the profession, and that kind of has been the same way for me. I used to just want to be on air only, and then as time's evolved, I do less on air and more behind the scenes stuff, and I just absolutely love that.
Yeah. What's the most challenging thing of working in radio?
Making sure you're on the air. With a single station, it's not so bad, but having four, it can get to the point where it seems like it's all you do, because you're always trying to check and make sure everybody's doing good. So,
what's one thing that sets WROI Giant FM apart from other radio stations around the area?
Well, we have a lot more ties to the community. We always want to hear from our local politicians, whether it's the commissioners, the city council, the mayor, anything like that. We want them to come in and keep us up to date with what's going on in the community and how the county's doing. And then just our ties to being local, that we strive to be as local as possible. We always joke that it's a big city feel with a hometown sound, or big city sound with a hometown feel.
There you go.
Yeah, flip the two around.
There you go. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of changes happen since 2019 with ownership. I mean, this building we're sitting in right here, the studio's changed a bunch. Mobile app changed a bunch. WRI Country came about. You've purchased more stations.
Yes.
So, with all that said, what can we expect in the future? Any exciting things coming down the pipeline here?
Well, I do know the closest thing to a real change that you're going to see here soon is we're in the process of revamping all of our websites.
Oh, cool.
They'll look similar, but with a little bit different spin on them. And more push to check out giant.fm instead of just in the individual posts. For instance, FultonCountyPost.com. Giant.fm will allow you to check out all of our stations as well as all of the posts for each station.
So all the posts are kind of under the Giant FM umbrella there.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. So each county we're in has its own website that focuses on news, and so you've got 4 different counties in the state now that you can keep up to date with the news on, and you can go all to one place, whether it's the Giant FM app or maybe you don't want to download another app. So you can just go to giant.fm, and when you're on your phone, it looks just like the app.
Yeah, and it works great. Website, app, I mean, take it anywhere.
Yep.
I've listened plenty of times when I'm outside the radius.
Yeah,
So.
there's been a few times you've texted me and said, hey,
Yeah.
what's this? I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Last question I got for you. If somebody out there is listening and has always wanted to get into radio, what advice would you give that person?
Pursue it. Go after your dream. If you're interested in going into radio or seeing what it's like, stop on by and we can talk to you about it. We have no problem with that.
Just gotta get some experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Break that ice a little bit. And
Yeah, I mean that's how I started, just being a board operator for
Gotta get the reps in.
3 hours a night,
Yep.
once a week, and then now I'm here 50 hours a week.
do the work,
Yeah.
as some people say.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to cover or plug or anything this morning, Paul?
No, I think that's it. We covered, we'll have nonstop football action starting at noon Sunday,
Yep.
so tune into that. And of course, Randy Wynn will be on the air tonight at 6:30 for the Rochester game.
There you go. And like I said, for the Colts game, Matt Taylor, those guys do a great job.
Yes,
I
they
recommend muting your TV, syncing up the audio with your TV. That's a fun way to watch the game.
Yeah, Matt Taylor and the crew always paint such a wonderful picture of the
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Even when the Colts are down,
Yeah.
you're excited because of the way they're describing the game.
Right. That's when you know you got good broadcasters and commentators.
Yes.
All right, Paul, our trivia question this morning, with it being fall, the fall classics about to happen in MLB because the postseason's underway. How many MLB teams have never won the World Series? Or no, excuse me, never made the World Series.
Yeah.
Never made the World Series. Is it 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams, or 4 teams?
I'm going to go 3.
It is 1.
Okay.
The Seattle Mariners are the only team in the league to never make the World Series.
That just seemed too easy for me. And I
Yeah.
was like, it can't be as easy as 1. So I just went.
They were close in '95, but they've only made the playoffs once since 2001, and that was last year. Barely missed this year, but there are 5 other teams that have never won the World Series.
Okay.
Those teams would be the San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, Texas Rangers, Tampa Bay Rays, and Milwaukee Brewers.
All right.
Which the Rangers still have a chance. They're out of those teams.
So I went in the middle of
Yeah.
number of teams that have
Yeah.
never won it, and
Yeah,
number of
but
teams
that's
that have never
amazing
been there.
compared to the NFL and NBA. There's
Yeah.
only 1 team that's never made it, whereas the NFL's got a handful that never made Super Bowl. Same thing in the NBA with the finals.
Yep.
So, well, let's close with some words of wisdom from William James, American philosopher and psychologist. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does.
All right, I like those words of wisdom.
Yes, me too. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. We'll see you guys again next week.
Be here. Thanks.
With those words of wisdom, this has been the First Federal Program.